Yo, 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 welcome back. I know we ain't done this in a minute, but welcome back. It is Hoops and Brews. Uh, as always, it's me and Joe. Shout out Thomas. Thomas will be back on soon, but today you got me and Joe, man. We gonna do these more consistently. Obviously, since the NBA season is starting up in how many days is it? But it's like
about a month.
No, we ain't no month away. We like
a little less than a month.
No, we like weeks away, bro. Season start. I think like in about 2 weeks. I think the season starts.
Ooh, yeah. Halloween is around the corner. There's always Halloween game.
Yeah. So we gonna do these a little bit more consistently for you. But Joe, get your plug in. Tell the people where they could find you at, and I mean, let the people know what you've been up to, bro.
What's good, y'all? I've been good. Been around working. It's good to be back on the pod. I've been coaching my flag football team. I remember correctly, Thomas and Pavy, they was hating on me saying I couldn't do it, but we started off good this season. I'm 2-0 this year. We got a combined record in both games.
How many games y'all got?
We only played 4. Well, in the regular season, only 4 games. And then we got the championship. We played 2 already. We won 28-0 and 25-0. So that's what's up.
Okay.
We're doing we're doing our thing. Yeah, steamrolling teams. Besides that, I've been working. A little bit in the gym. I was out with Pavy a couple weeks ago. Shout out to you for that weekend. That was a crazy weekend. I had a lot of fun. You had me and Naomi on. We went crazy. That was dope. But yeah, nothing too crazy. I'm excited. The NBA season is back. I'm gonna be back at the Intuit Dome for the Clipper games. Yeah, that's pretty much it. What about you?
Man, I've been chilling, bro. I've been having fun. Been getting. I mean, the summer was great. I was out the country a lot. So I mean, I guess you could say I'm quote unquote getting back used to being in the States. But big news today. Well, LeBron's had fake big news for a few days now. I think what was that, Wednesday, when he made the fake tweet when
that was Wednesday, the Hennessy thing.
Yeah. When we all thought, I fake thought that he might announce that this was his last season. I'm not gonna hold you. As it stands, LeBron has it came down. Well, already LeBron wasn't participating in preseason. They asked DeAndre Ayton, like, what's it like to play with LeBron and Luka, and he said, I don't know because I haven't played with him. I guess that's kind of troubling to me, especially Luka, on Luka's behalf. Well, even though Luka did play in FIBA, so maybe he's tired, but I think you would at least like to see him against FIBA.
But again, you're 26, bro.
Listen, you are 26, and unless he's in the best shape of his career, like that's what we've heard, all summer. Obviously, Braun is dealing with, I'm not even going to try to pronounce the injury because I can't pronounce it. I know that it's like a nerve injury. It's like the nerve that like runs from, I guess, like your back to your leg. So basically, I guess he has nerve damage, kind of, sort of. So he's out for a month. In your mind, how does that affect this Lakers season? How does that affect LeBron and also the prospects of what the Lakers could do going forward as we think about them this season?
I think it affects the Lakers a lot, honestly. But I'm a big guy especially in the modern NBA, I'm a big guy on next man up policy. So this just means more minutes for some of the guys we picked up. Jake LaRivia, a young guy. I'm high expectations for him. I thought he was solid in the minutes he played last year in Sacramento.
I'm not gonna make fun of Jake. I'm not gonna make fun of Jake LaRivia, but you said that gives me more minutes for the guys, and then the first name you said was Jake LaRivia. They are
Jake
cooked.
LaRivia is a solid. Definitely the cooked is definitely reached. I expect Rui. This is a big year for Rui. I think it's not a contract year for him. I think maybe the following year is, so it's a good chance for him to showcase himself. He's had a lot of good outings in the playoffs the last couple of years. He's one of the only guys who we could rely on for scoring last year. He shot, I think, over 43% from the 3 playoffs last year. A 3-level scorer guy who can really embrace his opportunity. I feel like it should help the Lakers out. I mean, get to see what guys can do with LeBron. Because I honestly, LeBron is 40, 41. I expect him to be in on the lineup all year. So him not being in the beginning, so that way when it happens later in the year, it's not some big surprise. Everybody's out of place and people are getting pushed back into positions. Also, this is great for the Luka. A lot of people are picking Luka to win MVP this year. I think this is a great showcase for him. A good time for him to go out there and make his mark on the league and see how far he can elevate this Lakers team with him being by far clearly the best player. Just see what he got for real. We expect the monster numbers, but can he elevate them to wins? Can he get Aiden those easy looks everybody's talking about he's doing? Can he set up Rui? Can he keep everything afloat? Can he play a little bit of both ends to lighten the load on everybody else? There's a lot of question marks. I think this makes the Lakers, to me personally, I think this makes the Lakers a much more of an interesting watch for me without LeBron. I'm really curious to see how the rotation looks. I'm curious to see who steps up, and I'm curious to see how many is Luka playing? We're going to probably play 40 to 44 minutes now a night. So like, what's going like how is JJ
Playing
ranking these guys?
44 minutes a night, bro.
He's in the bench increase like
he
26.
not playing 44 minutes a
Who
night.
else are they gonna really rely on? I mean, I guess you do still have Reeves.
You got Reeves, you got Connect second year.
Connect.
I mean, he can't handle the ball. At least he can shoot. I mean, the problem with the Lakers is they don't really have. When you look at their roster, like when it comes to playmaking, they really only have LeBron James and Luka Doncic. So that's like the. Go ahead.
I don't see really playmaking as an issue with his roster. I think mainly defense for me. That's the main
both.
Issue.
I mean, listen.
Reeves can play make a little bit. Reeves, and he can put the ball in his hands. He can make something happen. I think defense is the main issue for this team, though.
I agree. I think they do have some nice defensive pieces. Like I actually forgot that they picked up Marcus Smart. I actually forgot that.
They did pick up Marcus Smart.
Now, granted, obviously Marcus Smart, former DPOY, but that was like 4 or 5 years ago. He's pretty much been hurt ever since he left Boston. So I wonder what he has left. But if Marcus Smart is a guy who has something left, I think that could be a really good pickup for them. I would be very interested to see, how their starting lineup runs without LeBron. Like I would think I would think maybe you go Smart, Reeves, Luka, Ruri, and Aiden. Now, granted, I don't know. Now, granted, Aiden was saying the right things on his first presser. After I think a lot of fans were mad that he didn't score, but he said, "Yo, my job here is to play defense and rebound." We'll see if he keeps that up. No, listen. We'll see if he keeps that up because he is going to be a guy. Granted, he's never been much of a rim protector throughout his career. He's always been a very good rebounder, and obviously rebounding is a part of defense because you cannot finish out the possession until you get the rebound. But he's never been a rim protector. This year he gonna have to do some of that, like it's especially with the people that you got in front of you. Luka, granted, no matter what Luka does, even if he tries, he's never going to be a great defender. He can be better than some of the moments he showed last year, especially that Indiana game, where if Bron didn't tip that ball in, they would have roasted him because they just took turns doing his ass for 2 minutes straight down the stretch. So he can be better than what we saw last year. But again, allegedly he's in much better shape this year. Allegedly, we'll see. Everybody's in shape when you come in. Everybody comes in shape, and then somewhere throughout the year, sometimes people gain weight. So again, we will see about it. But I think it's somewhat troubling. I think it's troubling because you want to gain camaraderie, right? And obviously, as long as Bron is on your team, he's never going to be a decoy. He's always going to be a guy. He's not going to be a guy that's going to stand away in a corner and just let somebody else like do everything the whole time.
He's done it before.
He's never, not really. Like, outside of when he would throw the ball to Kyrie, and Kyrie would fucking dribble with 5 seconds left and shoot something crazy. He's never been a guy to just really watch other people cook. He's going to be involved in your offense in a major way.
He gave the ball. He let Rondo do a lot of playmaking in 2020, to be fair.
Yeah, but he was in the play. Half the time, he was the one rolling to the basket.
Yeah, but that's still like, rolling to the basket is kind of a decoy, no? Because Rondo is making a decision right there.
No, because then you screen and then Bron gets to basically get the ball in like that free throw line level and like the Draymond Green spot. But now you're in the middle of the floor and you can pick everybody apart. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead.
He can run similar actions with Luka though. So that's
I agree.
I
don't disagree. I'm just saying that, especially when you look at the Western Conference. Like, I mean, the Western Conference is going to be another bloodbath again.
The Western Conference is insane. I was just looking at it right now.
It's crazy. So, like, if you start off the season, I don't know. They say he's allegedly going to be out for a month. Granted, you talking about a 41-year-old man with nerve damage. He might be out longer than that. So you start this season off, I don't know, 4-7, 4-8. Something like that, especially in this Western Conference, that puts you behind the 8 ball. So and also you got to get camaraderie, bro. What about when he comes back and you trying to, and the thing about the Lakers is, for the most part, every year they're always trying to fit new pieces in, and the pieces that they're trying to fit in aren't like complementary pieces. It's like pieces that really have to work. Like DeAndre Ayton really has to work, bro. Like, that's not a small piece. Like, Ayton has to be the third best player on this team to me.
That's fair, but I mean, it's kind of like this is his trial for the league. If he don't play good this year on these national bright lights, where is he going to play next year? I mean, this is the last. This is arguably the last hoorah for DeAndre Ayton.
It's not the last hoorah. He'll find a job.
Yes, if Portland is playing you to leave, and then you on national TV 40 times a night in Los Angeles, and you getting your ass whooped up team.
He'll find a
It could
job.
be. It just happened to Ben Simmons.
No. Listen, he'll find a job.
Another
It
minimum
may not
as a
listen
backup.
as a backup. It may not be the job he want to have, but DeAndre Ayton is good enough to find a job, bro.
I feel you, but that's a failure though for a number one pick to come off and not even be able to show your talents as a number one pick in Los Angeles. This is like everything is on. This is pretty much everything is on the line for this dude.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm not arguing with you. I think him having a good season this year would set him up to get I don't know, maybe another 15, 20 million next year and maybe a bigger deal, right? I do think it's a big year for Ayton, but I'm just saying, what about the camaraderie? Like, this is the piece you really have to work in. What about Marcus Smart? I'm not really too much worried because he just wants to play defense anyway. And really for him, it's about staying healthy and seeing what, he has left. Also, I keep forgetting he was a part of the trade, Maxi Keebler. Maxi Keebler, obviously he was hurt last year, so he didn't really get to play. I would love to see what he could bring to this team because I do think that he could bring something to this basketball team this season that they didn't have. Like, they didn't have really any shooting in the front court for real. Like, they have wing shooting, but they didn't really have shooting in the front court for real last year. So, I would just enjoy them being able to, play in, because if you look around the league, a lot of teams are playing in preseason. Like, a lot of teams have their guys out there in preseason, especially in the West. And I think the reason for that is because if you fall behind an A-ball in the West, you don't want to try to be playing catch up this season, especially
you don't want to be in that play-in. You don't want to be in the play-in.
You don't want to be in the play-in, and again, you don't want to be trying to play catch up, at least in this Western Conference, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, I would agree. So the Lakers are definitely interesting to watch. Considering everything we said, this is second year for JJ Redick, a big spotlight for him, big chance for him to show what he can do. But yeah, it's gonna be tough. I was looking at, like you said, we looked at the top five. I have almost a top four somewhat locked, but that fifth spot is between. I feel like I got like 4 or 5 teams in there, and I'm just like, I don't know which one of these teams I want to give the nod to.
Fair. But moving on, it's been a big story. I think more so today. Well, it's been a big story for a minute, but I think really today, because whatever reason it just came. I think Giannis was asked about it. I think the first report was his family decided to live in Athens. They're not living in Milwaukee. His family decided to go back to Athens for the day. I think Giannis asked allegedly he asked his wife, "Where would you like to live, Milwaukee or Athens?" And they pick Athens.
Oh,
I can understand.
The closest, his wife, like his first family, like the closest family to him.
Yeah.
Not living with him in Milwaukee anymore.
No, they allegedly moved to Athens. So they moved to Athens. So that was the first thing. And then I think Giannis said, like, yeah, this is where I want to be right now, but in 6 or 7 months, who knows? What do we think about that, man? Like, again, bro, I looked at the Bucks, like proposed starting lineup. Even in the East, it's gonna be tough, bro.
You think? I think that besides the defensive aspect, I think they pretty much have a recipe to have a really good offense, though. As long as they hit threes, like, because Giannis, he's floor spacers. Miles Turner is also a rim protector. The guys are out there around him can shoot. He's playing with shooters, and he's gonna be able to handle the ball. He's gonna be able to get downhill. He's gonna be able to get in his pocket. He's gonna be able to push the break and kick it out. And he's gonna have plenty of space as long as these guys are hitting. So I think they can steal in the East. They can steal as long as everything goes. As long as Giannis is healthy and those guys around him are hitting shots, and Miles Turner is protecting the paint. And I think that they can his force, because Giannis is like, he's guaranteed to be at least 35, 14, and 7 this year.
That's about what he gonna need to do for them. Bro, for them to win 45 games, that's what he's gonna need to do every single night.
I don't.
For them to win 45 games, bro, he literally for them to win 45 games, he got to win MVP.
I feel you, but the biggest issues also with them was he had chemistry issues. He likes to bring the ball up. He likes to be that guy. If he gets back into his comfort zone where he is 100% doing all of those things, and the guys fall into place, I think they'll be fine. Honestly, in the Eastern Conference, just because Giannis is just that good. If he has to play at least 70 games, though, at least I have to say.
Listen, he got to play 70 games, and he got to go out there and give you, again, the number that you just said, and probably has to be, if he's the best player in the league, I can maybe give him to 50 games. But that roster, I mean, look, it's not terrible. I think they did the best they could with what they had. They did get Miles Turner, obviously, rim protector. You put him and Giannis out there. You think that you have a solid front line. Also, your front line got younger. Brook Lopez, God bless his soul, but the man was 37 years old now. Brook Lopez got drafted when I graduated high school. So, like, the man out there, he older, bro. So there is that. You get Cool's. I mean, I guess Cool's second year, whatever. I did forget that they had Cole Anthony. I like Cole Anthony.
Gary Trent.
Yeah. Gary Trent. They got Gary Harris. I've completely forgot they had Gary Harris. So they do have some like pieces around. They do have some pieces around. Proven guys. They also have. I didn't know that. And Thanasis is back, and obviously, Giannis, when he's with his brother, allegedly he just plays better when he's on with his own brother. So I do believe that they did the most with what they could do. As far as Giannis trade talk, the problem with trading Giannis to anywhere is you're gonna have to give up so much. There are very few teams that can put together a package for Giannis, and yes, the only team I think that could do it. And we can't let him go there. Is the Spurs, and we can't let that happen. We can't let that happen. Adam Silver step in.
Did you see what Sham said? He said that the Giannis team came to the Bucks and said the only team I'm willing to go to is the Knicks, and they had multiple trade talks, but they couldn't come to agreement. The Knicks couldn't come. They didn't want to give up what they had to give up, so the trade talks ended. What would the Knicks trade package to Milwaukee look like to you?
Let's do it. Fanspo.
What guys would be on the? And the thing is, a lot of people will say you don't want to trade Brunson, but it's like, do Brunson and Giannis work? Because if Dame and Giannis don't work, isn't that damn kind of like the same thing somewhat? So I was like, do you really want to take the ball out of Giannis' hands to give Brunson to run around and play the super game?
I don't think you need Giannis.
If you're the Knicks, I mean, and this is considering how much the East has fell off, I can actually agree with you.
Like I don't know. No, I don't think you needed him. If it didn't fall off, you beat Boston last year. Like even before Tatum got hurt, you were gonna win the game, bro.
That shit was fluky.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't fluky.
Yes, it was.
I mean, listen,
2 back-to-back 25, 20
but
point
that's how Boston plays the game of basketball. When they make shots, they win games. When they miss shots, they lose games. Like they missed 45. They missed 73s in 2 games and kept shooting the shits.
I guess, but
if I do anything wrong 70 times, I don't think I want to do it 71 times wrong. So, like, that's the way they play. Like, I don't think, and again, the Pacers series, one could say they should have won that. You like have a new coach, you have a much better bench than what you had last year. You added Clarkson, you added guys like you added. Then they had Malcolm Brogdon too, I think, as well.
You talking about the Knicks?
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. So you like added quality veterans. You added guys who can give you like an offensive punch off the bench. Allegedly, you added guys where you don't have to just give the ball to Brunson and let him dribble the leather out of it.
It's still gonna happen.
Again, I did see, it was preseason and it was a practice clip, but I did see a clip of them like swinging the ball around some more. Even if he is going to dribble the ball away, at least he gets to get sparred. Well, not sparred, but like swapped out by somebody, right? At least we can get about Jordan Clarkson for 3 minutes. Like, bro, score some points.
I don't think you want. That's a recipe for disaster. Have you seen Jordan Clarkson in the last couple of years?
Fair, but I'm just saying, I don't think this Knicks team, regardless of whoever was in the East, I just don't think that this was a situation where they needed Giannis. Like, I don't think there's, again, and then the other teams you can say that would trade for him is like who? Okay, the Warriors. Who the Warriors got to trade for Giannis?
They don't have anybody. I don't think you want Jimmy Butler in the Giannis trade.
I don't want Jimmy Butler. You want Jimmy Butler in Milwaukee? He gonna take the city. He gonna tank the city. Like literally the Rockets. Well, since they traded for Kevin Durant, I wouldn't say it's over because they do still have people that they could, I guess, put up there if you wanted to go pair Kevin and Giannis together. But I like what the Rockets have. Like, I would prefer to, well, granted, if you got a chance to go and get a ring, you like go and get a ring. But I like what the Rockets have. The only team where I see who could actually offer the Bucks something back as well, like offer the Bucks a future and still be in a position to be able to compete if they get him, is the Spurs. And we can't let that happen.
Yeah, that will be some beautiful basketball though. The inside, that would be pretty.
Can't let that happen. Even though Wemby would never become the player offensively that he was supposed to become, because he's never gonna take a hook shot ever in his life if Giannis comes there. But still, defensively, we can't let that happen.
Defensive shit. The offense would be amazing too. Just the gravity alone. Just Giannis taking down the inside and the
Fuck
inside
the
out game will
offense,
be
G. How
insane.
is anybody
And
gonna
the
score? Fuck
and
the
the
offense, bro. How is anyone gonna score, G? Nobody is ever going to score, bro. Like
especially if they keep
nobody is
the
ever going to score.
if they keep that Carter kid in the trade, the rookie, the one that was locking down everybody in the summer league. His name was Carter, the rookie. What was his last name? Or full name?
I didn't even watch Summer League.
You didn't see? Oh shit! His name is Carter Bryant, the
Oh yeah,
rookie from
yeah,
Arizona. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
he's insane defensively. I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
yeah.
Like that to me is like the only team where I can see it making sense. Other than that, you kind of stuck. I don't want. Yeah, you're kind of stuck in Milwaukee until, I mean, I guess free agency, because again, what people would have to give up for you is just too much, in my personal opinion.
That's fair.
And there's no other, like, even like let's say you want to go to a big market, the Clippers, right? Who are the Clippers gonna trade for Giannis?
Like I said, James Harden don't make no sense. Kawhi don't make
Leonard don't make like there's no there's no, even when I'm looking, I could just continue to look around the league, like go to teams. Like I don't know who would. I mean, the Raptors, but like if you gonna get traded to the Raptors, bro, you may as well just stay in Milwaukee. The Nets, if you gonna get traded to the
Same
Nets, you
thing.
may as well just stay in Milwaukee, bro. I mean,
that gets the market, Brooklyn. But I mean, besides that,
yeah, but besides, like, you gonna, like, the Nets, okay, you're gonna have to trade. Well, obviously Porter gonna be in the trade just because his contract. Porter gonna be in the trade. You're gonna have to trade pretty much all the picks you got and like probably like all the rookies you got. Now you may not, well, not all the picks, but a bunch of the picks you got and a bunch of the rookies you got, and then you got to convince people to come play.
that's
So
very
like,
the trade market pretty much is dry for Giannis. Like
yeah. Again, like I said, the only place I can see the man we're realistically going and is the Spurs. And like I said, we can't let that happen. But
somebody got to stop OKC.
Man, look though, nah, bro, we can't let that happen. Did you see that player when Wemby, like, I guess, drove to the lane, bodied the man, and then I'm like, all right, bro, if that's what we doing now, God bless. But moving on to another injury team, I guess a report came out about 2 weeks ago that Fred VanVleet tore his ACL. Unfortunately, get well, FVV. In your opinion, I guess, well, the Rockets were a team that a lot of people picked to win the title. I don't know what the Vegas odds were, but I'm sure they weren't bad. How do you think this affects the Rockets' title chances and what they could potentially do this season?
I do think it affects them a lot for sure, but I also think this opens up a avenue for different lineups they can run. Get to see a little more men, him at the one, more of an opportunity for him to grow. Also, more of a role for Reed Shepherd as a guy people have been dying to see, a guy who has been exceptionally well in the summer league. Every time we see him there, great. He's smaller, but he's a great shooter, good dribble, high IQ, young guy. A lot of times this is going to be opening up just a lot of the line. This is the same team last year who ran Steven Adams and Sengun out there at the same time. So I wouldn't be surprised if they ran out there with a lineup of Amin, Tari, KD, Sengun, Adams, something crazy along the lines of that. I think it opens up more for the youth. The positives, it opens up more for the youth. The negative is you lose a veteran guard who's already has championship experience and was a key guy in that championship run. A guy who can get people into their places, a guy who can take pressure off everything else, a guy who can kind of settle stuff down, when you need that. A team that struggled last year in the half court, even though obviously Kevin Durant gonna fix a lot of those issues, but that doesn't fix everything. So a guy like a Fred VanVleet, a veteran championship NBA guard who can slow it down, knock down a three, set the offense up, just kind of settle the team down when everything is going on. Luke missing that is going to hurt, but it also gives you a chance to see what other guys they have. This is a deep roster in my opinion. So it's going to be interesting to see how those guys respond. Specifically, Reed Shepherd, Amin Thompson, I think is exceptional. I think he's one of the. I think he's. I wouldn't be surprised if he made the All-Star team next year. It might be a little too much of a jump for him in some people's mind, but the guy's a freak athlete. I think he's working on his jumper a little bit. I see him in the offseason. I like what I'm seeing from him. I think this is a big opportunity for him. If he can come in and be the Amin Thompson that a lot of people like myself are expecting him to be, I think they don't miss too much of a beat. But it just depends on what type of jump these guys make. But Fred VanVleet, regardless, I do think he'll be missed because he is one of those guys who you can kind of rely on when things get sticky. And he is a proven veteran, a proven winner in the NBA. And he was going to be like pretty much there their go-to guy pretty much every possession.
I don't want to cut you off, but yo, man, thank you for the bread, bro. We appreciate it. I don't know what currency that is, though. Can you tell me what currency that is? I'm not sure what it is, but thank you, bro. We appreciate it, man. Niles, and I appreciate all the support that you give me with pretty much everything, bro. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. But Rockets without FVV, I'm with you, bro. But at the same time, like, I mean, you pick Reed Shepard number 3 in the draft. Granted, it is his second year, and we're trying to win the championship, but like you pick Reed Shepard number 3 in the draft, and he barely played last year. I think you do want to get a look at what you have in him. Like you said, you also have Amen, and you have Shane Goon. Do you see what Shane Goon did in the summertime? Like I think Shane Goon is a guy where you could realistically run offense through Shane Goon, and take away some of the, I guess, the burden of FEV not being there. But like you said, you do lose a veteran guard, a championship guard, a quality smart guard, a good defensive guard as well. I think if we all remember that final series, like he did a good job against Steph. So you do lose that, but the Rockets got the pieces, bro. You still got Amen.
They do.
You still got Jabari Smith. You still got you have Dorian Finney-Smith now. You got
Tari.
And they have exactly what they needed, and which was a scorer, which was basically a mercenary scorer in Kevin Durant, and you have that now. As long as he can stay healthy and be there come playoff time, I still think that they can manage without the FEV injury this season. And again, like I said, I'm excited to see what Reed Shepard can do because we don't know. You picked the 3rd in the draft. You pick somebody 3rd in the draft. We assume that one day they're gonna have to play and be on the court. So I think that they can still manage without the FEV thing. Like I said, it does suck, but I don't think this is some season altering thing. And they do have Aaron Holiday. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously he's not a starter in this league, but I think he's somebody who can come in and give you quality minutes. I've seen him give teams quality minutes, so it's not like they don't have any other guards. And once FVV went down, that was the only guard they had on the only point guard they had on the roster. So I think that they can still do a thing and still manage, be able to manage without FVV, in my humble opinion. But moving on, I want to give. I don't know if you have a list written down, bro. Did you write your list down in your
top 5 in each conference?
Yeah. Well, not top 5, but top. Let's do top 10.
Top 10?
Okay. Yeah, top 10. Let's explain why we chose what we chose. Yeah, let's explain. Just give our rankings and explain why we chose what we chose. I guess I'll go first as I have my list ready. I picked number 1. I have the Thunder going back-to-back as winning the conference. I think they are a young team, and I think they can still get so much better. Like even Shea, he can still get so much better. Shea couldn't shoot last year. He really couldn't shoot the 3 ball last year. He got better at it, but it's still something that he could still improve upon. Jalen Williams did all that, and his hand was hurt. He had to go get surgery after the season, and he's a young guy. He can get better. Chet can get better. They have a rookie. I think it's Topic. The man was hurt all last year. He was a lottery pick. He's coming back this season. So they have a whole bunch of guys. Carson Wallace can get better. Like all of these guys that they have can still get better. And as long as they're hungry, I still think that they can show improvement and they can go and win 65 games again. As long as everybody stays healthy. And again, as long as they're still hungry, I think that they can go back to back and win the conference. Number 2, I have the Denver Nuggets. I love the roster that Denver Nuggets put together this season, bro. Like, I think that, the Cam Johnson pickup was huge. I'm going to say this, and I'm not saying this as in he was weak or something before, but I think Cam Johnson can have a breakout season. I'm saying a breakout season because, when he was with Phoenix, he was a guy, but he was off the bench, if I'm not mistaken, with Phoenix. He wasn't one of the main – he was a key contributor.
He didn't start with Phoenix? I think they used to call him and Michael Bridges the twins. I think you remember that?
Yeah, he might have started. You're right. You're right.
It was Chris Paul.
It was Chris Paul, Book. Yeah, Cam McHale, and then Aiden. Yeah. But I think that he's older now, and I've seen what playing with Jokic can do for people. I've seen what it did for Aaron Gordon. I saw what it did for KCP. I saw what it did. Well, we don't know what Michael Porter, but I think I saw what it did for Michael Porter Jr. I think Cam Johnson is a guy, especially if you average 18 last year with the Nets, with basically no help, and then pretty much nothing around you. I think he could be a borderline all-star player with the Denver Nuggets. And I also like going back to pick up Bruce Brown. I also like picking up Tim Hardaway Jr. You know, I like the guys I like picking up Jonas Valanciunas. I really like picking up Jonas Valanciunas because in previous years when Jokic couldn't get a breather, at least when Jokic is out the game now for 10 minutes, you can still run. I'm not gonna say you can do the same things that Jonas has Jokic type skills. But the way he plays does allow you to do some of the same things where you have to change your offense too much when you put him in the game. And I think that, those extra pieces that they added were huge for them. And I think they have a much better team 1 through 10 than what they had last season. And with Christian Braun, another year, Peyton Watson, one more year. These guys coming back older, and these guys getting a taste of the not a taste of the playoffs because they played in the playoffs the year before, but a taste of starting and a taste of being key contributors, especially in the case of Christian Braun. Like, he was a starter. So like him coming back, having like another year of familiarity, and also hopefully Jamal Murray can be healthier than what he was last year. This year, I love what they did. So I have the Nuggets at my 3 spot. At my 4 spot, well, no, at my 2 spot. At my 3 spot, I have the Houston Rockets for all the reasons that we just spent talking about FVV. I think they have I think last year, the only thing that they was missing, and they still almost became a second round basketball team. And if they make to the second round, who knows? The only thing that they were missing was a scorer, and they finally have that scorer. I'm with you. I think Amen could be an all-star. Şengün was already an all-star, and I saw what he did in the Olympics. Well, not the Olympics, but in FIBA play this summer. Turkey won gold, if I'm not mistaken, and Şengün was the main reason why they won gold because he was incredible this summer. So him coming back, and you know what international play can sometimes do for a player. It can sometimes, have you reach a different level in the NBA season. We've seen guys do that in the past. So I think Şengün, especially with the guys he has around him now, he goes to a whole different level. And I'm with you on Amen could be an all-star, or at least a borderline all-star. And KD is who KD is. Number 4, I have the Warriors. My number 4 and 5, I can flip-flop. I have the Warriors and Clippers at 4 and 5. For both of these teams, bro, it's health. It's health. Obviously, you get a full season with Jimmy Butler, but all those guys are old. Jimmy, I think all those guys above 35 years old. I'm assuming Kuminga will be traded at some point in time this season, but Kuminga still has worth. You can get some for him. They also picked up Al Horford, but again, another old guy. But if all those guys can stay healthy, they can be around a 50-win basketball team. Same with the Clippers. I love the Clippers acquisitions. I like getting Chris Paul off the bench. I love picking up Brook Lopez. I like picking up Bradley Beal. I think the John Collins pickup was super dope. Kawhi Leonard, if I'm not mistaken, he didn't go into this offseason hurt and rehabbing. So, you think you might have a healthier version of Kawhi Leonard this year. You also bring back James Harden. Obviously, James Harden's going to do what James Harden going to do. Zubac looked great last season. He made the all-defensive team. Can Zubac take maybe one more step to be like a borderline all-star type guy? I like the things they did, but both of these teams, it depends on health. Like, I think both of these teams have very high ceilings. I think they can. I'm not picking them to do it, but I think they could make a finals run and make things interesting for teams. But it depends on health. Like, we talking about a bunch of old guys, bro. All these guys have been in the league since I was 20. I'm 34, and they older than me. Most of them. They older. I was watching most of these guys play in college when I was in high school. I graduated 2009. So, you know what I'm saying? So, again, like, if all those guys can stay healthy, I think they might have something good, but we'll see. But my 4 and my 5, it could go either way. I have Warriors and Clippers. My 6th spot, I have the Dallas Mavericks. If Cooper Flag, I think this is a great situation for Cooper Flag. I think if Flag can come in and give them 17, 7, 5, 1 and 1, we are on our way. Anthony Davis, obviously, depends on health with him, but he didn't go into the offseason rehab and nothing. So there's that with him. I love the front line that they have. Obviously, you have AD, you have Lively, and you have Gafford, and then you add Cooper Flag into that. They picked up D'Lo to, I guess help with the pressure of Kyrie not being there. Kyrie is already back in the gym. He's moving well. I guess, the ACL surgeries are much better than what they used to. As long as you can get Kyrie back, and you got those other guys, your really good defensive pieces, I think this team can make a run because I still think this team, dare I say it, might have the best front line in basketball. With the guys that they have, they might have the best front line in basketball. So I think that they can be a top 5 defensive team. And you get Kyrie back in that, And I think, you can be well on your way to really making something happen in the playoffs. My number 7 spot, I might be reaching, but I'm going to reach the Spurs. If Wemby is who we think he is, it shouldn't be that's still the play in, but they should be a playoff team. They should make the playoffs. And my thing with the Spurs is everybody just assumes that Wemby is going to have 15 years. They said this man grew to be 7'5". I ain't never seen nobody 7'5" play 15 years. Have you seen that?
We ain't seen that yet.
Yao Ming got 8. Ralph Sampson got about 8. Like these really tall guys, we just assume that they're going to be here forever. We don't, now granted, the way Wemby is built, number one, he got the African blood, which I think helped. He got the African blood in him, which helps. And he's also a more slender build guy. So, hopefully he can stay healthy. But the time is now, bro. In my personal opinion, the time is now. What are we waiting for? If you got a guy who can realistically be on most nights the best player on offense and the best player on defense, if I was going to Vegas, I would put money on him being the defensive player of the year next season. I think he can go out there and get you 25 points, 12 boards, 4 blocks, and 2 steals at minimum. If he could do that, why can't this be a playoff team? And you have Castle, you have Fox, Dylan Harper, the number 2 pick. You still have Sohan, you still have Devin Vassell, you still have Harrison Barnes. Like, you have a good team around them. Why can't this be a playoff team? I'm not understanding why this can't be a playoff team. I'm not understanding why it really can't be a 50-win team. I wanted to go crazier, but I was like, let me chill. My number 8 spot, I got the Timberwolves. I have the Timberwolves, but I think they can be a better team than this, but I think it depends on Anthony Edwards. And not his scoring, his playmaking. I think if Anthony Edwards can be a better playmaker, he might have to go and get you 7 assists this season. Reason being is because outside of, I don't know if Rob Dillingham, I don't think will ever be a playmaker. I think you look at him, and best case scenario, you see Jamal Crawford. Mike Conley, love him to death. He's had a great career. But Mike Conley was playing in college when I was a sophomore in high school. He got drafted my sophomore year of high school. I'm 34. What I'm saying is there's only so much Mike Conley can give you. Rudy Gobert, I think he's on the other side. Julius Randle, I like, obviously Randle has been dope for them. Like he was good for them this season.
Yeah,
the lineup they're running is kind of weird. The lineup they're running is it's big, but it's weird. I'm very interested to see how this goes for the season. In the preseason game, they had Conley, Ant, Naz Reid, Randle, and Rudy all starting. We'll see how that goes. I'm interested to see Terrence Shannon off the bench. Like, he was a guy, I know he had the situation in college, but if he didn't have that situation that happened with, the lady said that he did something to her that he didn't do.
I ended up getting cleared for.
Yeah. Getting cleared for. I think that he would have been probably a lottery pick. We're obviously not going to run that lineup. Actually, they ran that lineup because Jaden McDaniels didn't play. Forgive me. But, I think he's the guy that can give him something off the bench. As far as Jaden McDaniels goes, I'm still looking for that other step. Like, I think the Timberwolves were looking for that other step. I think the Timberwolves were thinking that maybe he could be like, not saying he's Scottie Pippen, but the Scottie Pippen to Anthony Edwards, Michael Jordan. And so far, he hasn't been that. He's been good defensively at times. Still think he reaches too much. He gets his hands in there and fouls too much. But can he be a guy who can give you 18 points per game? If he can give you 18 points per game, and Ant could be a better playmaker, so he can, run some point guard duty. So you really only look for 25 minutes out of Mike Conley and not 30. Then maybe they can, have a better season and not be at the spot that I predict them to be at. But them being an AFC, I still think they'll win like 47, 48 games. Like, I don't think them being an AFC means they're going to be bad. I just think that's how good the Western Conference is. At my number 9, I have the Memphis Grizzlies. I think it's kind of a reload year for them. And I still have question marks about Job, being healthy and, some of the other guys that they have. But I think it's kind of a reload year for them, even though I do think KCP can be solid for them in moments. But I still think that they need. I still think that was a team that also I wish that they would have looked at KD as well, because I think that they need also like a dominant wing scorer as well, or a guy that I think that they maybe might want to go check on at the trade deadline if they feel it can help him is DeMar DeRozan. I think DeMar is a guy, because I do think that they need some wing scoring. A guy who can get you 25 points off the wing. That obviously with trading Desmond Bane, they don't really have that now. And my number 10 spot, I'm gonna go with the Pelicans. If Zion can stay healthy, and again, what we always say about the Pelicans is we like the pieces they have. The pieces they have can help so many other teams, but for whatever reason, it just hasn't helped them. But I'm a trust that Zion could be healthy. You get Trey Murphy back. You got Jordan Poole. Who was the rookie they picked? Did they get was it Trey Jones that they got? Was that the rookie that they picked this season? Let me look. If I'm not mistaken, it was Trey Jones, or did Trey Jones go to the Wizards? Let me look. Who was it?
You had the rookie they drafted.
Yeah, no, actually they didn't. No, they didn't draft a rookie because they drafted Jeremiah Fears. That's who they drafted. Jeremiah Fears and Derek Queen. They got some solid rookies. I like Jeremiah Fears. He can score. So they got a bunch of guys who can score the ball. They bring it back. Herb Jones, Jordan Hawkins, a shooter, second year. He can give them something. They also picked up Kevon Looney, professional. So again, as long as Zion can stay on the court, because when Zion is on the court, he's a force. The problem with Zion is his ass don't be on the court. But when he's on the court, he's a force. So that's how I'm doing it. Like I said, I just run through it again. Number 1, Thunder. Number 2, Nuggets. Number 3, Rockets. Number 4, Warriors. 5, Clippers. 6, Mavericks. 7, Spurs. 8, Wolves. 9, Memphis. 10, Pelicans.
Not bad. Not a bad list. Should I jump to the West again, or should I just go to the East?
No, do the West, and then we're gonna then we gonna both give our East.
All right, bet. So my list is somewhat similar, a little different. Obviously, first I'm going with the Juggernauts, one of the most successful teams we've seen over the last decade in the NBA. The OKC Thunder almost won 70 games last year, handily 70 games with top five defense, top 5 offense, young, hungry. They had the MVP. They had an All NBA third team guy in Jalen Williams, or was he third? I'm pretty sure 32nd, one or the other. They made 2 great acquisitions that past offseason. They're coming back this year, and Hardenstein and Caruso, 2 vets who played huge roles in winning what they did last year. I think that they have a competitive advantage of everybody. On 2K, when you have a season association mode, they have a chemistry bar. I think theirs is literally at 100%. And I think that's one of the most important things in team sports is chemistry. Do the guys like each other? Are they meshing? Do they know? Do they have a feel for where other guys want the ball? I think all of that is off the roof. It's out of this roof. I think it's out of the world with that. I also think, just you can see it. Like you said, the camaraderie, you got to build that. And I think it's all 100% there. Coaching is there. You can see even after the post-game, it upset some people, but the post-game press conference when they all gather around Shea and after he just dropped 45 on somebody's favorite team, and they all gather around him and they all smile and it's all jokes. There's a lot of high fives, a lot of smiles, a lot of just it's all there with this team. I don't think there's any question marks. I think that the only enemy they really have when it comes to postseason is the Denver Nuggets team that almost beat them last year and took them 7 games to get them up out of there. But I think that they're coming back from that. They had a hell of a game plan for him. Shadowing them with guys like Caruso that have bodies like the Hardensteins and the Cheds. I think Ched is also he's hoping to get his second year. He played 70+ games his second year. He was hurt his rookie year. He was hurt last year, but his second year he played 70. So he showed that he's capable of banging with these guys and being healthy for a season. I think he's due for another healthy season. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. But I expect them to thoroughly run through the Western Conference again. I think them to have that in the 1 seed. I think their youth and just the fact that how hungry they are and all the chemistry they have and the great coaching and the fact that they have a guy's going to be MVP candidate once again. And Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, I'd be surprised if he finished anything less than 3. The guy walked into 30 points a night in the NBA without even shooting threes. He was a mid-range, just get to the basket guy. He's draw fouls with the best of my dome. I'm not one of those people who judges him for that. Me personally, I think it's the skill set. If you got a guy who can go out there and shoot 8, 9, 10 free throws a night, I think that's a skill set. Don't foul him. That's how I look at it as. Don't foul him, or he gonna put him at the line. Be more disciplined. A lot of those is pump fake, people jumping. It's the footwork. It's exceptional. It's good basketball all around. I just think that OKC. I don't see any reason. I was obviously bearing injury, and I don't think that they're not an injury prone team. Like those other the older teams in the West. They aren't those guys. They aren't the Clippers. They aren't Golden State. They aren't the Lakers. They don't have the 40-year-olds playing 38 minutes a night. They don't have that. That's not an issue in Oklahoma. I think this is one heck of a team. I also got like you said. I know Topic got hurt again, Nicola, but I don't think that's going to have too much of an impact on them, but I expect them to pretty much, run through the East. I mean, the Western Conference once again and secure the 1 seed. I expect them to win. It won 67 last year, I think. So I wouldn't be surprised if they won around that same amount. To be completely honest,
I want to say 70. I ain't gonna hold you.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I really want to say 70.
Coming into the season fully healthy, I think it should be. I'm looking forward to watching them. If you want to see like good basketball, a lot of people complain about basketball nowadays. They say people shoot too many threes. This, that. that's not an issue over here. They can go to their bench. Y'all, Aaron Wiggins, Casey Wallace. Those are young guys who already fit the system, already know spots to go. They come in the game, already know, they understand their roles. Is really what I'm trying to say. It's hard to find those guys like to understand that certain guys. You got the Bones Highlands of the league and whatnot who keep bouncing around the young guys who can't really. They don't have. It's not a problem there. Even the younger guys are buying in, doing what it takes to win, and they executing, and they're doing what you're supposed to do. Got good minutes from Jalen, the big Jalen Williams off the bench. I just think this team is just well rounded. We'll see how long they can keep this team together. You know, bearing the CBA. I didn't even mention Lou Dort, guy who's a guarding 1 through 4 consistently every night. Pretty much sending a message every night, letting other opposing players know I'm here. You're not gonna lose me. I'm fighting over screens. I'm communicating. I'm moving my feet. I'm doing all of the above. Just every piece you need on the modern basketball team is on the Oklahoma City Thunder. So I'm gonna lock them as my 1 seed. Thirdly, as my 1 seed. I'm also putting the Nuggets as my 2nd seed. Like you said, I really like the move they made this offseason. Picking up Cam Johnson is huge. I'm big on Michael Porter Jr., but I think Cam Johnson kind of fits the Denver system a little more. A lot of times you catch Michael Porter Jr. not playing his role. A lot of times he'd be doing a little bit too much. It's kind of his game, and it did help him at times. But a lot of times you catch him doing stuff that kind of threw them off. I think that Cam Johnson is probably a little bit better of a spot up shooter. I think he's a little bit better of a passer. I think that he's gonna mesh a little more with Jokic from corner threes, just moving without the ball, meshing in, doing what he does. He's also cheaper, so they're gonna say they save money by bringing him in. I think that's huge. Like you said, the Jonas Valanciunas pickup was big. They've been struggling. I think they were running DeAndre Jordan as their backup big last year. And to be fair, DeAndre Jordan did have a couple randomly. He had a couple big games as when Jokic was out randomly. He played good. But I'm still taking Jonas Valanciunas for 70 plus games over DeAndre Jordan, another guy who was probably was playing in college ball when he was in high school, another older guy. So they made some good pickups.
Man, he was in the class of 05, I think, bro. Dead ass, class of 05, bro.
Yeah, that's just crazy. But yeah, this Denver team, I do rock with this team. That the interim coach, I can't think of his name right now, but I thought he did a decent job last year when he got thrown into the fire. Literally when
I think it's Rick Adelman's son, right?
No, David Adelman. Yep. Yeah, David Adelman. But yeah, I thought he did a good job. When he was thrown into the fire last year, he got them to the 2nd round, almost knocked off who inevitably ended up being the NBA champions. So I like that. Let's see who else. I think Jamal Murray coming to the season healthy is big. That's the guy who's dealt with ACL issues over the course of his career. I still love the Aaron Gordon Jokic connection. I think that and him in the dunker spot, Jokic around the high post, finding him. He's pretty much one of the best 1-2 punches in the league. That coming back is huge. Also, obviously, they brought back Bruce Brown, the guy who was with them when they won the championship in 2023. I love that pickup. Bruce Brown is a guy who has a great feel for the game. Another guy who can play off for Jokic. Them two can play off with each other. A guy who is pretty much a do-it-all, versatile wing who can step out, hit the three. He can drive a little bit. He can set a screen. He can roll off of a screen. They're one of the more unique players in the league who also now understands how to win, considering he was already on the team. He got paid. And then now ended up back on this team. What happens with that championship tax? He ended up getting his money out the championship, winning that championship, and then it didn't work out. Then now he's back. Now he's paid. Now he's pretty much hungry again. If he has another good year with the Nuggets, you might trick somebody into paying him again after this season. So I think it's a big moment for him. And also you talked about Christian Braun. Christian Braun is nice. He's one of the only rookies I think over the last decade to have a legit impact in the NBA Finals. You don't see that. I think he's playing at least 20 plus minutes a night in the finals. He was big. He had some big plays. That don't happen too much. You scroll through the finals, you can't find too many rookies playing impact minutes and making impact plays in the finals. He did that his first year out of Kansas as a Denver Nugget. So him now, he was a starter last year. He was exceptional. I think he was getting at least 15, 16 a game. He hits the 3-ball now. He slashes. He has a good understanding, good spaces for the game. So him coming back as for his third year, I think that's gonna be big for him. He's gonna be a surefire starter, playing at least 30 minutes a night, defends a little bit. So I think, I think they solidified themselves as a 2nd seed. They got the pieces. They got arguably the best player in basketball. So I just think that all that's going to come together. So I'm pretty much solidified him as my 2 seed in the Western Conference this upcoming season. I'm for my 3rd seed. I know you I want to go with Houston. I'm probably going to go with Houston as well. Obviously I'm a big KD guy, but I think this is much bigger than KD. This is KD is gonna be paired with. I don't think KD's ever played with a big man that's as skilled as Sengun is. In his entire career, KD been in the league for 19 years now. I don't think any of the bigs you look at down his career are comparable to that.
That's
I mean, he played
that's
with
fact.
Steven Adams. He played with who? He
Steven
played
Adams.
with a Wash, DeMarcus Cousins, older DeMarcus Cousins.
Steven Adams, Serge Ibaka played with
Kendrick Perkins,
Zaza, Perk, DJ, Nick Claxton,
Nick Claxton,
Aiden, and then God bless who was on Phoenix last year. That's Nurk, So facts.
So I think that's gonna be interesting to see how that opens up KD's game. That's gonna be real cool to see. Also, like you said, Mint Thompson, who we talked about, he brings something to the game that you don't see on a 99 basis. There's his first step, his athleticism, his second jump. All it is, but when the question mark is his shooting, and with the way he plays, sometimes you don't even care about it. I mean, just tenacity on ball defense, the help side defense, the ability to block shots, pretty much his ability to impact ways with the intangibles is pretty. It's one of a kind. So to come out there and watch him be able to, like you saw, his flaws were really exposed last year because they didn't really have the half court score. Now I think his game's gonna be a lot simplified, and so going to take another step. But like you said, I agree with you. Can run offense through. You got KD who can always run offense through. So I think that's gonna be big spotlight for him, a big opportunity for him to set himself up to get his max contract. I know he's almost due. This is his 3rd year. He's gonna be due for contract in a year or 2. This is gonna be a big spotlight for him, I think. Steven Adams, who also I feel like his career got somewhat revived last year. I think that he can come back and play some big minutes for them and solidify that defense. Also, I'm a big on Udoka. I think that Udoka, he's going to implement his defensive and whatnot. KD on LeBron's podcast, KD talked about how Udoka would literally like run a 2-3 zone for like 2 plays and they'll switch to 1-3-1 zone in the next place. And then the next possession he'll be back in man. So a lot of that mixing up and stuff. I think he has the personnel to execute that, a lot of length. So I think that's going to be super cool to see him put all this together. Like you said, Dorian Finney-Smith, Tari Eason is still there. Deshaun Tate is a solid role player. I mean, Jabari Smith is 6'10", 6'11", long, can shoot, put the ball on the floor a little bit, but he definitely has game. I think him contributing also on offense. But overall, I like this team. I think they can get after on both ends, offense and defense. They got scorers, guys who can play both sides, score, and guys who can really defend. So I'm gonna solidify them as my 3rd seed, 4th seed. I see it, but I'm gonna go. Who you interchange Clippers and Golden State 4th seed, right?
Yeah.
I'm taking. I'm gonna just go ahead. I'm gonna go Clippers. I'm gonna pick the Clippers. I'm a big fan of what they did this offseason. Obviously, I'm like you said, health is a big concern for them, but they got Kawhi Leonard that's coming off a year where he played in the postseason and towards the end of the postseason. They really ramped him up towards the end of the year, so that way he would be fully healthy in the postseason, and he was. So he was fully healthy for the last 3-4 months of the season last year, and he played really good basketball. I thought he had a couple some really nice highs in the playoffs. I don't think he was consistently that guy like you've seen him be in the past. But I think he's obviously still very two-way elite guy. I like what they got. I'm still a big James Harden. I like how they give James Harden pretty much the keys to the offense and let him be James. And I like how he's altered his game to be more of a playmaker. Obviously, in Houston for years, most of his career, he was a score first. Even though he's also a hell of a playmaker too, but he's always been a score first guy. I like how he took a step back there. He's reading, what his personnel, and he's getting guys involved. He's had Zubac looking like an all-star last year. I thought he arguably had a great case to be one last year. I think Zubac, obviously, this is a big year for him to solidify. I think he's probably he's not the best contract in the league. He probably has one of the top 2, top 3 contracts. I think he's only making like 23 million a year, maybe even less than that, to give them a double-double every night with a couple blocks. So I think that's exceptional. Shout out to Zubac, him holding it down. I think he's a top 5 center without much of a doubt in my mind. I'm personally a fan of the Beal pickup. I'm mainly a fan of that because they picked Beal up and they avoided having to pay Norman Powell the following season. So that was big for them. I think you're replacing Norman Powell with someone who can pretty much do exactly what he does at the age of him. I think that's going to be big because Norman Powell was a huge piece for the Clippers. And now you replace that with somebody you bring in on a minimum because he got paid to leave Phoenix. So a guy with a similar skill set, a very similar skill set to him. So
Bradley Beal is better than Norman Powell, bro.
At this point in their careers, I don't know.
Bradley Beal is better than Norman Powell, bro.
No.
I
think
still
it's.
think Bradley Beal better than Norman.
Nah. I think that's at this point in their careers.
I still think Bradley Beal better than Norman. And
No.
isn't Norman Powell older than Bradley Beal?
You know, Norman Powell was literally about to be All-Star last year. If LeBron would have announced that he was not playing an All-Star game,
that's fine.
Like a day earlier,
That's
Norman Powell was
fine.
an All-Star last year. When's the
That's
last time Bradley
fine.
Beal was an All-Star? When's the last time Bradley Beal was an All-Star? Come.
Probably like 4 years ago. Probably like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, Norman Powell's here now. I think that they're, if not the same player, Norman Powell is better than him at this point in their careers. But I just think that was a hell of a swap to get rid of that, having to possibly, because Norman, with the way he was playing last year, 24 game, shooting big time shots in the right places, exactly what you need from a starting two in this NBA and more. So I think he was exceptional last year. To be able to replace that and not have to give him that long term deal he was going to be looking for somebody who is a proven All-Star in this league for the minimum. Shout out to that the Clippers GM for being able to pull it off. Shout out to Lawrence Frank and those guys. That was a heck of a move. I'm somewhat a fan of the Chris Paul reunion. I know he's older, but I like him to come in. He can when Harden missed time, or guys, he's another veteran. Like I said, this is I believe the oldest team in NBA history, right?
I don't know if the oldest team is. It's the oldest team in the history of the league.
I think I might have read that.
The history of the league?
In the history of the league, this is the oldest
That's
team
crazy.
ever. I'll ask AI in a second. But yeah, so I do like they bring back Bojanovic, the guy who they traded for. I thought that was a good pickup. They got rid of Terrence Mann, brought him in. He knocked down some big shots for him last year. Batum is still a solid role player in today's NBA at 36 years old. He made some big plays defensively. He made some big shots offensively. He shows up when it matters. They got a lot of seasoned guys, a lot of guys who are going to understand their roles. And they somewhat got some and also the John Collins pickup was also amazing. I think that one of the biggest issues last year was the that 4 spot. I don't think you really want to play. I know the 4 is
that 4 spot has been an issue since the whole era. Because at first they had Marcus Morris in it, then they tried to make Kawhi into a 4, and yeah.
Yeah, so I know the 4 spot nowadays in the NBA, people say, I mean, it's different. It's not how it was when I was in middle school. It's not a bunch of Zach Randolphs. It's not a bunch of guys who going to take you down there and try to post you up and body you. But still, I don't think he want Kawhi Leonard playing the 4 position at this point in his career. I don't think he want him in that. Keep him on the wing at this point when you can bring in a guy like John Collins to take that pressure off of Kawhi Leonard to run it for him. John Collins had a career year. Like he was excellent last year for the Jazz. He didn't play too many games because they were trying to lose. It was, at least that's what it appeared to be. But he was excellent in those games he played. And I think it's around 19 points a game, like 8 rebounds, shot the 3-ball well, got up and down the floor. They need a guy who's gonna run up and down. He catch some lobs from Harden, CP3. That's their forte. So that was an outstanding pickup. We still got Chris Dunn. He was one of the better bought. I thought he would have been all defense last year if he played more games. Yeah. But he wasn't eligible.
I think it was minutes.
Oh, minutes. Okay.
Yeah. He didn't play enough minutes to be on all defensive team.
Okay. But yeah, I like Chris Dunn. I expect him to play more big minutes for them. I think he's gonna be big. Guarding those the tough guards you're gonna see in the Western Conference night in and night out. But yeah, overall, like you said, Brook Lopez is older, but he can still knock down the 3-ball. He can still contest somebody at the rim. He ain't scared to get dunked on, one of those guys. But overall, Derrick Jones is back. He's another guy who kind of plays similar to the John Collins role, but obviously not as good. But yeah, I like the Clippers as my 4th seed. Like you said, though, health is key. But I'm really a fan of what they did this offseason. Moving on to my 5 seed. On my 5 seed, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Dallas. I'm gonna put Dallas at the 5 seed. I really, really like this roster. I know Kyrie is nursing an injury. He won't be out there for a few months, if not longer than that. But top to bottom, like you said, one of the better front lines in the league to go along with Cooper Flag. They picked up D'Angelo Russell to, hold the weight until Kyrie gets back. You still got Klay Thompson. You got Najee Marshall, I believe. You got you still got Jason Kidd, a veteran coach, NBA Hall of Famer. Who else they got over there? But yeah, I like the pieces. They also picked up PJ Washington. This is a guy I like, a guy who's going to space the floor and play defense for you. They just extended him, gave him $90 million. But I am a fan of this roster from top to bottom, especially defensively, with that front line. I think Cooper Flag can come in and be all defensive player this rookie year. I think he has the athleticism, he has the twitch, he has the defensive IQ. He has what it takes. He has the size, all of the above, the long arms, pretty much everything you need in what you want to see in a defender on that end. So I think that this team is going to be really, really, I think they're going to hang their hat on their defense, especially while Kyrie isn't there. They're going to hang their hat on their defense, rim protection. I think they got guys who can get after the perimeter as well. So I think that this team is going to come on and shock some people. A healthy, lively, and Gaffer. I know they've been since they made the finals that year. They both have been in and out of the lineup. So if they can come in this year and be there, I think that'd be huge. And I think that this team could possibly make some, real noise in the West for Cooper Flag's rookie year. A great situation for him, and I think he can possibly run away with that rookie of the year and just be that guy. Fill up the stat sheet as well. Off, points, rebounds, blocks, assists, steals. He'll be one of those guys. A Swiss Army knife for sure. And then I'm gonna go 6 after Dallas. I got San Antonio. I'm big on San Antonio. I'm a big Wemby truther. I think he's one of those generational super talents like we never seen before. I think that it's his time. His first year, he came in. He played a lot. He played a decent amount his rookie year.
They was being like cautious with him though his rookie year.
Yeah, they were being cautious, but that's pretty much when he showed the world like he can do this. And then obviously last year he was another insane year, and then he suffered from blood clots towards the end. But I think that we see all the offseason videos, him training with KG, him in China being a monk, just doing all this different, training with. I think he trained with Jamal Crawford, training with all these different people. I think that is going to be, and then I expect an insane season from him. I expect if they can be in that 5-6 seed, I expect him to be in the MVP talks. I think that just what he does is just something we've never seen before, and we probably arguably may not ever see again. And he shows it every time he steps on the court. And I think he can elevate the guys around him. Like I said, I like you got veterans. Harrison Barnes going to come. He's going to hit shots. He's going to be supportive. He's going to be a veteran. He's going to be in the right places. I'm not sure how much he'll play, but I told you I really like Carter Bryant from Arizona, the rookie. He was a menace defensively. He went at Cooper Flag. He went at Bailey. He went at pretty much everybody you want to see him go at. He harasses people full court and don't take no breaks. Was one play he guarded 4 different people on one play, and I'm like, okay. I'm big on Stephon Castle, the defender rookie of the year. It's gonna be interesting to see where he fits because now you bring in 2 other guards, so it's gonna be. I'm not sure how that's gonna affect him. You bring in obviously De'Aaron Fox is already there, but you bring in what's his name?
Dylan Harper.
Yeah, Dylan Harper. Bring him in, so we're gonna see how he meshes with that. But I still expect him to be great defensively. He's an athlete, long, athletic, can score the ball a little bit. But I like that De'Aaron Fox is obviously a veteran. They extended him, right? They extended De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah. I think he's 5 years 90. 5 years 190. I think.
Yeah, they extended De'Aaron Fox, but I expect him to. He's gonna give you production. Obviously, gonna give you 20 a night, 6-7 assists. He's gonna be there, give you some good highlight. He's gonna push the pace, keep the team moving. He's gonna produce for sure. I kind of like Kelly Olynyk is a veteran guy who's been around for a while. I think he's gonna be nice for Wemby to play off him. I also still have Devin Vassell too, a guard who spaces the floor. They also paid him. I think he gets about around $30 million a year to space the floor and be a good defender. And at this point, he's 25 now, so he kind of understands the game. But I like this team. I like this core that they're building. I think that they have something for sure. Like you said, one of the only teams who could offer Milwaukee a real trade pack. I think those guys will pretty much prove why people consider them a good trade pack. Is why they'd be like highly touted in that situation because they got some guys who can play and they got a great leader and they got, like you said, a couple mixed vets in there, Olynyk, Fox, and Barnes to guide them. So I'm interested to see how they compete this year. I've got them as my 6. And then 7th, I got Minnesota. I think I got Minnesota. A team that really hangs their hat on the defensive end. You gotta in this era, you gotta be able to respect that. Teams who not gonna get those open looks. Teams that gonna get back in transition. Team that can protect the paint. Teams that can't keep you from getting to the paint. You got McDaniels out there harassing you, Edwards out there harassing you. And you got Gobert at the rim waiting for you. So I like that. I also think Randall has also drastically improved his defense. We saw that in the playoffs last year. If he can keep that consistent to an 80-game season, they can even be higher than 7. But I like this team. They hang their hat on their defense. They can score too. I think Anthony Edwards, he talked about he elevated his mid-range game. He came in the training camp with only 3.5% body fat. So I think that's big for them. I like what they can do. Like you said, Conley is older. But I mean, if Rod Dilligan can figure it out, like I saw, he has his highlight tape is already pretty nasty out there. People are looking like Jamal Crawford step backs, all of the above, a couple nice pocket passes, like nice dimes. He can figure it out a little quicker. That can also help them out too, because like you said, Mike Conley. I think that was my biggest problem for Minnesota last year in the playoffs. Is because once you double Ant, his relief is Mike Conley or McDaniels, and those two guys are very limited. Obviously, Mike Conley at this point is very limited, and McDaniels is just limited off rip. He's not really an offensive guy, offensive playmaker or scorer. So once you double Ant, sometimes it's like where do we go with the ball? I mean, what the sport am I getting? So that's my biggest issue with them. If they can figure out maybe acquire somebody, or Dylan could take that next step. But like I said, Terrence Shannon is a guy who excelled last year, even in the playoffs when he got time. But my biggest issue, they can somehow figure out, or Anthony Edwards can take even another step and be in those MVP talks, or they can fix that issue when their teams do double down and show multiple bodies and they pinch on Ant and whatnot. How are they guys? Can they find somebody who can take that pressure off him when teams are showing him 2-3 bodies? But since we don't know that, so I got them as a 7th. And then 8-9 is pretty much Lakers and Golden State. I think these are two similar teams. I think Golden State,
Lakers is where I forgot. Like the Lakers gonna make it. I gotta move Memphis down.
Okay,
yeah, I forgot. I gotta move Memphis down and then put my Lakers at 9 and put because the Lakers gonna make it. I forgot the Lakers, and I know somebody gonna see this and cook me. I forgot the Lakers. I genuinely forgot the Lakers. My bad. I ain't want to cut you off. Continue.
No, you good. But my 8-9, and I'm put that as a toss up between Lakers and Golden State. Two teams, like we said, injuries riddle these teams, these older teams. So I really liked Golden State last year, how they finished the season when Jimmy Butler got there. They were exceptional. They went like something. I don't know exactly off the top of my head, so don't. I think they went like 25 or 22 when Jimmy Butler arrived. They were steamrolling teams. The chemistry. Most times when two guys land on the same team, it takes them a while, to develop some chemistry. But Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry immediately hit the ground running. And I think if obviously Steph Curry got hurt, but Jimmy Butler, when he fell on his back in whichever game that was versus Houston, I think that was pretty much the end of that series. He was not the same guy to finish the playoffs. But if they can stay healthy, I think they can be higher. But it's just hard. I don't like banking on these older teams because it's inevitable. Like you hate to say because you don't wish injury on anybody, of course. But once you see the same patterns over and over again, it comes to a point where you have to expect it. So, but I really do like that team. I like the Al Horford pickup. I think he's a guy who fits Steve Kerr's system well. He's going to set those screens. He's going to know where he's going to pass the ball to Curry when he needs it. He's going to set those screens. He's going to roll when you need to. He's going to hit those open shots. I think that was an exceptional pickup for their system and what they like to do. A big who can read the defense, pass, shoot, dribble a little bit when necessary. He can even guard the perimeter a little bit. So I like this pickup. Makes him a little more versatile. I'm very intrigued with the Kuminga situation. We all know it took them the whole entire damn offseason to figure out what they was going to do with that contract. He ended up getting a 2-year, $48 million, right? With a team option next year, with a team option, right?
I'm not sure, but I know it's I'm not sure, but I know it's 2 for 48. Basically, he's getting traded.
So I'm intrigued to see how that situation goes, if they end up trading him or if they end up like maybe unleashing him. We're gonna have to see how that goes. But I mean, the talent is still there. Steph Curry is obviously still Steph Curry. He's still arguably one of the top 5, top 6 players in the NBA when healthy. Offensively, he's still that guy. He can still shoot 10, 11 threes a game on a 43% clip. He can still shoot from half court.
He ain't gonna be 45%, G. He ain't gonna shoot 45%, bro. He ain't gonna shoot 45%, bro.
Or in that range. He's still an outstanding scorer. So I really do like Golden State. And as for the Lakers, when I look at the roster, I can't buy it. I can't buy it. Like Reeves, LeBron, and Luka are just a little too redundant for me. I think you gotta off one of those guys so you can get some more defenses, balance the roster out a little bit. I'm not too fully bought in on Aiden yet. He kind of has to show me, to be honest with you. Guys like Gafford and Lively, they embrace that role of being a roller, being a guy who just doesn't really see the ball that much, a roller, a dunker, a rim protector. Aiden never really been that guy. Even when finish, you remember times he demand touches, he want touches, he want this, he want that. I just haven't seen it yet. I think I believe he's capable, but I'm not buying into it until I see it. So I'm not too sure on Aiden. He don't really have the rep of what the Lakers need from him. I'm not sure how many possessions they got for him. When you got LeBron, Luka, and Reeves running around shooting between them, average between them 25 each shots a night, somewhere around there, 20 plus shots a night between each of them. So I don't see how he fits into that. But like I said, this is do or die for Aiden. I feel like, me personally. So he's gonna have to figure it out and buy. If he buys into this role, that'll help this team drastically, and he can get them around 14 to 12 a night with a couple blocks. Good finishes around the rim. I think that'd be huge, but it's a wait and see thing for me. So I got them around there. Not enough defense on the roster as well. You run in LeBron. I just don't. Like I said, the Marcus Smart pickup was big because he's known for defense, and you need guys who want to play defense.
If he got something left.
Yeah, exactly. He's only each of the last 3 seasons. I think he's only played 20 games each.
Yeah.
So it's a good pickup though, because it's the right idea. You know, Luka, they say Luka literally went out and called him and recruited him. So he's coming in happy, you know, the best player here wanted me, da. So it's cool.
Please help me, bro.
It's the right idea. So I got the Lakers up in that area. I'm just
And
not
your last spot.
My last spot, I'm going with the Grizzlies.
Fair.
Last spot, I'm going with the Grizzlies. I somewhat like this team. I mean, I just think that, you know, I kind of do. I'm just not like you said, you know, we talk about injury. Usually we talk about the older guys, but Ja Morant can't stay on the floor. And he, 25 himself, 24, 26, something like that. He can't stay on the floor, or something's going on with him. It's hard to, you know, trust it. You trade away your best perimeter scorer in Desmond Bane. You get an older guy in KCP. You get a veteran and like 4 picks. Those picks ain't going to help you win nothing right now. It's just based on this season. That's why I got them 10th. So yeah, this team, you bring back Jaren Jackson. Obviously, is one of the better younger players in the league. He's on the max. He can space the floor. A good defender. Obviously, fouls too much. Struggles rebounding, but he's still anybody would pretty much take him. So he's still gonna get them some wins off them two alone, depending on how many they play. I like the fact that that trade opened up more for Jalen Wells. I like that. We'll see how he capitalizes on this. I think he's gonna be an interesting piece. He still got Santi Aldama, a power forward who plays good when given minutes. Is Brandon Clark? Brandon Clark, is he hurt again?
I think so. No. I'm not sure.
I just know
he didn't have knee surgery though. I think he had knee surgery.
Yeah, he's still on the injury report. And also you got a couple guys like when you are bad, like how Memphis has been over the last couple of years, you discover talent. You know, you discover guys from your G League team who can actually play in the league when you're bad and you're at the end of the year and everybody's hurt. So GG Jackson is around again, the guy who's came from the G League, he's proven now. So he's gonna be able to get some minutes. You also got Scottie Pippen Jr., guy who's made his name for himself and over those times.
Played good last year.
Yeah, exactly. So you got some younger Vince Williams Jr. as well. You got some younger guys who given opportunities and took advantage of them. That you know a lot of teams when you are good, one bad thing about being good, you don't really get to see. Sometimes you don't get to see younger guys. But with Memphis, they were bad and they had to guys were forced to play and they took advantage of it. So now you got those guys heading into a season where your main guys are healthy. So you combine that and you think something good will happen. But like I said, it's hard to trust Ja Morant. It's hard to somewhat really trust even Jaren Jackson. He also has injury troubles. It's just and the talent just isn't too much there, so that's why I got them 10th. But I think they still are better than those other teams that they're ahead of.
Fair. But moving on, let's do this one last thing before we get out. And next show, let's reconvene before the season and do our Eastern Conference preview so we could dive into it the way we just did that. But it's almost streets time for me. But our way too early award pick. So obviously that's MVP, DPOY, Rookie of the Year, Most Improved Player, and Coach of the Year. Do you want me to start with my MVP?
Yeah, go ahead.
My way too early MVP prediction: Cade Cunningham. Okay. I think it's the Detroit Pistons. I mean, if I'm the Pistons, I look at what the Pacers did last season, especially with how wide open the East is, and I think why can't this be me? And I mean, Cade gonna have the numbers. Like I think Cade could have been easily second team. I mean, he was third team last year, but he gave you 26, 9, and 6. Why can't he be a guy next year to give you 28, 10, and 7 or something like that next season? They have a better team. They have Jaden Ivey coming back. You got Duncan Robinson, so you got more shooting there this next year. So I think my way too early MVP award pick is Cade Cunningham.
All right, cool. I'm not gonna now. My way too early MVP pick is gonna be Victor Wembanyama. I think if you can keep the center and playoff contention, I just think that when you look at his stats, when you look at his numbers, and you look at his basketball reference account at the end of the year, I think it's gonna be insane to not have him in strong consideration. I think he's going to get about 4 or 5 blocks a game, around 27, 28 points per game with 11, 12 rebounds, probably like 5 assists, 2 steals, 2-3 steals a game as well. And just the fact that he's probably going to run away with Defensive Player of the Year as well. I just think his overall impact on the game is just a little bit too much to look away from at the end of the year, especially if they're in playoff competition. I think people are going to see that and it's just like it's just going to be no way you're going to be able to see his name and be like, would not have him in front and center in those conversations. So I'm going to go with Victor Wembanyama.
Not mad at that. My DPO, I think we can both agree, Wemby.
Yeah.
He gonna win this award for he gonna win this award until they get tired of giving it to him. So we got about 5. What's up?
if for whatever reason, obviously he got injured last couple of years. Last year's why he didn't get it. I'll go with Min Thompson as defensive player of the year if Victor Wembanyama is ineligible for it. So just as
Fair.
like a
Fair. I'm not mad at that. Most improved player, who you got?
most improved player. Whatchamacallit's already won it, huh? I'm gonna go. Michael Porter Jr.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, he got an new opportunity in Brooklyn. Only issue, I don't think he has known for his back issues. He's gonna have a higher workload. So barring injury, he's gonna have a bigger load too. But I expect him to go out there and shoot the ball a lot. He's gonna shoot the ball. And I think he's a hell of an offensive talent. He's always been one since he ever stepped foot on the NBA court. He's been a really good offensive talent. Walked into 15, 16 points, 17 points as a game as a rookie. Around as a third option in Denver. So, this is the first time he talked about it himself. Like, by the way, he said he went on a crazy offseason
Oh
PR
yeah.
run.
Oh yeah. His offseason PR run was legendary, bro. Legendary. Every time they put a microphone in front of his face, something legendary came out of it.
Yeah, he was wild. But yeah, I think he's an insanely offense. We never seen him with the opportunity like this before. So I think the injury part is the only thing I don't with the high workload. How's his body gonna respond to that? He's been in and out of the lineup for years. Had shoulder issues last year, and obviously he's back. But I think that with his opportunity and all the shots he's going to take, people are gonna look at him and say, "Yeah, you improved a lot from what you've been doing the last couple of years in
Denver." Mine is Andrew Nembhard. Andrew Nembhard. Obviously, Hallie isn't going to be there this season. Obviously, the show he put on in the finals, he going to get a chance to shoot the ball, man. He going to get a chance to shoot the ball a lot more, and the ball is going to be in his hands a lot. So I'm going to go Andrew Nembhard. I think if he averaged 10 last year, why can't it be 18, 20 this year? Yeah, so I'm going to go with Andrew Nembhard from
that's a great
most
pick.
improved player, Andrew Nembhard. Where we at? Rookie of the year, I think we can all agree, Flag, Cooper.
I feel you, but Ace Bailey did drop 25 in the preseason.
Ace Bailey did drop 25 in the preseason, but I still think it's gonna be Cooper Flag. Unless Ace Bailey comes out and averages 22. He might. He on Utah. He might. But I think it's Cooper Flag's award to lose.
I agree. I agree for sure. Yeah, I think it's all around stat sheet stuffer. Is that we gotta go coach of the year too, right?
Coach of the year. Obviously it gotta be somebody. Mike Brown or Emi.
Mike Brown, he didn't already won. How many coach of the year awards he got? He got a lot.
That don't mean he can't get another one.
I
think he has one.
I'm
gonna go Mike Brown, bro.
Mike Brown. I'm gonna go. I almost want to say Mitch Johnson.
Who is Mitch Johnson?
That's the guy who's coaching for the Spurs right now. I'm not sure how long. Obviously, Greg Popovich is done, right? Or
yeah. Pop out of there, retired.
Oh, he retired. So, yeah, I'll probably go to Spurs coaches because I think that. Oh no, my bad. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go. This is I don't know what this is, but probably I'm thinking about maybe Jamal Mosley. That's the
yeah, that's fair.
The Magic coach. I think that they addressed. Obviously they addressed the one issue they had. They got one of the best shooters in the league. Team was bottom half of shooting. So I think that if they can go out and shock people, Ben Carroll can get up in those, raise his name up, he raise his stock a little bit. He could be in that conversation. So as of now, I'm gonna go him as my way too early pick.
Fair. Well, yeah, I guess that's it. I don't want to do clutch player of the year. I don't even know how that could even work.
That's a luck. Not luck, but it's kind of hard to predict that.
Facts. Well, it's been real, man. Thank you all as always for watching Hoops and Brews. I'm gonna break this down tomorrow and I'm gonna make some clips out of it. But yeah, man, thank you guys always for watching Hoops and Brews, man. Y'all know where y'all can find me as always at pavyworld everywhere on the internet, man. I got music out right now. Go check that out. I actually have a new song dropping on Tuesday. It's called Let's Lay Out the Seaches. And I have a new song dropping after that called Ain't Too Much Out Here to Love. So look out for those records. And yeah, man, as always, like I said, follow me at pavyworld everywhere. Go Streams and Music. Joe, tell the people where they can find you at.
Give me on Instagram, Joel R. Wilson, Twitter at the Jolts. Thank y'all for tuning in. It was good getting back out here. Nice long episode we got in. Expect us back soon, y'all.
My man. I'll see y'all.
Sir.